Are you still paying regular price when you shop? With the right strategies, you don't need to step up to a till or hit that cart button without getting some kind of discount, rewards, or cash back. Or even better yet, get all of that on the same purchase. Stephen Weyman from Credit Card Genius and HowToSaveMoney.ca stopped by the show to explain how we can stack multiple types of savings before, during, and after purchase, so you never need to pay 100% of the listed price again. Welcome to the MapleMoney Show, the podcast that helps Canadians improve their personal finances to create lasting financial freedom. One of the things we talked about in this episode is credit cards. Well, our sponsor, Borrowell, allows us to receive personalized product recommendations for credit cards, mortgages, and loans from trusted partners. Head over to Borrowell to get your free credit score and more at MapleMoney.com/Borrowell. That's MapleMoney.com/BORROWELL. Now let's chat with Stephen. Hey, Stephen. Welcome to the Maple Money Show.
Thanks for having me, Tom. It's good to be here.
So I wanted to have you on. You've got your original site, How to Save Money, and now you've got Credit Card Genius. And between the two of those, I figured there's a lot of insight. You've always gone really detailed, and on both sites, you go very detailed into what you're covering. And you've always sort of covered how people can save money, and now with Credit Card Genius, how they can sort of get this cash back or travel rewards. Either way, they're getting something back for their purchases. So. Yeah. I wanted to cover with you if someone's looking to make a purchase, maybe they're going grocery shopping or they're buying a TV on Best Buy, just starting right from the beginning, sort of how can they save money on multiple layers? And let's just start right at the beginning. How do they find sort of the best price on an item?
Yeah, well, the first place you want to start whenever you're looking to save money on a purchase is by finding a sale. And often that will give you, the big initial discount and some of the biggest amount of money you can save. So if you want to make that process fast and you don't want to look through, the old school flyers that you may or may not get to your house or sift through things online, there are apps out there that make your life easier. So they're flyer comparison apps. There's a few of them. The most popular one is Flip, and you can use it on their website or on your phone, depending on your preference. There's also Reebee and Sale Whale. I think those two are still operating as well. So you just load it up. You type in the product or item or model number of the thing that you're looking for, and it will parse through all the local flyers in your area and show you, a clip, basically a cutout of the item from that flyer all on one screen. So you can scroll through them quickly. You can, click one and save it to your shopping list and compare them side by side that way. If you're doing the online search, there are price comparison websites like ShopBot is a popular one where you can do the same thing. And that will show you even wider array, not just out of flyers, but also like online stores. And it's good to check a few of them because they don't all have, partnerships with all the stores. So sometimes they might not search through all the inventory. And of course, there's Google as well. But with Google, you're kind of at the mercy of what they decide to show at the top. And and they, and Amazon tends to dominate the online space anyway. So it's sort of a more useful thing if you're shopping offline to use a tool like Flip.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Flip, not just for the deals, but also because it allows you to have multiple users on a Flip account. Me and my wife, either one of us may go shopping for groceries, but we both want input on what flyer items we want to get that week. So it's nice that you can both clip things in Flip, and either one of us can access the list for that week's shopping. I'm also a huge fan of Amazon. I've got the Prime account now, which I still haven't decided if it's fully worth it or not. But if you're ordering enough stuff, getting that 2-day free shipping and all the other perks is great too.
Yeah, I mean, I think their goal is to make the other perks worth the membership, right? And then you sort of get the 2-day free shipping on top of it. And then, of course, you're buying all your stuff there because you feel like you have to now because you have a membership, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, they're who I go to first now when shopping online because if I can get the same price and Yeah, I'm getting that much quicker shipping than in some cases than
And you
other
don't have to
things.
create a new account or manage another password or whatever. So they
Yeah.
really get that locked in.
Well, and speaking of getting more for your money, actually, that's a good point because the Prime account, I get music and I get videos on there, so it. I don't know if I can say it will replace things like Spotify and Netflix, but at least it's additional options where you get all this included for one price that's actually lower than Spotify or Netflix.
Exactly.
So you mentioned shopping around. One other spot I just wanted to bring up was if it's certain only for certain items or certain experiences. Another thing I like to use online is Groupon.
Yeah.
We've done this when visiting different cities for vacations. We found little fun things to do, or even locally, you want to go do mini golf or go to a new restaurant or something. Groupon's just been another spot that I just wanted to throw in there where you can kind of shop around to find a deal online.
Yeah, I mean Groupon. There used to be a whole slew of these Groupon coupon sites and wannabes, and then it ended up being not such a fantastic business model because they were offering these massive discounts, and then on top of that, like the store itself was like, taking an even bigger cut, like out of what you were actually paying. So you were saving at least 50%, and then they probably weren't even taking home half of that. So, those sites sort of fell apart quickly, and Groupon it basically remains as the only real choice left in the space, and even their site isn't as reliable as it once was. Another good one though is coupon books. If you're visiting a different place, like the entertainment book, if you buy the entertainment book for the city you're going to, you can often save up to 50% on attractions and restaurants and other things. So if you know a place you're going, I did that once for Vancouver, saved a bunch on go-karting that I wanted to do at the time and a few other things. And, it just adds up easily past the cost of the coupon book.
Yeah, I'm a fan of City Pass as well.
Exactly.
If you're out traveling looking for a better deal. So let's look at sort of our next layer of savings, which I think is probably coupons. There's tons of ways to get coupons in the store, by mail, online. Can you kind of take us through how those work? And one question I have, if I can just add more to this question, is sort of stacking coupons. Sorry, is this something that actually works? I've seen it on like the extreme couponing TV shows and everything where people pay next to nothing, but I wasn't sure if that works. Does it work in Canada maybe?
Well, I'm a massive fan of stacking, but what I call stacking is not coupon stacking, it's deal stacking.
Yeah.
And that's finding as many different types of deals you can apply to any given purchase to keep lowering the price, sometimes even making money in the process. That's not as possible as it used to be. But to go back to like what you're talking about is manufacturer coupons, I'd say the heyday of manufacturer coupons is kind of come and gone. And that's because of the digital age. Now the hot thing is to sort of use big data and use consumer data to get to know you and what you like, and then deliver you a personalized offer. And that's all well and great. You get your apps like, PC Optimum to get their points coupons and discount coupons and other store apps or Air Miles or what have you. And you will get offers, but before you used to be able to just sort of like collect manufacturer coupons, and sometimes you could get the same coupon for the same item or apply it multiple times. Now you're often limited to like one item. Before you could buy like a whole basement full of them if you wanted to, if you could find enough coupons. But yes, and now also there's apps like what's the popular couponing app there that I'm trying to think of? Checkout 51, Receipt Hog is another one, and those ones you take a picture of the receipt of what you purchased, and as long as that item is listed in the app, then it gets uploaded to their service, and you'll get credit through their app, and eventually you can cash that out as a check, or a PayPal payments, or however. Sometimes they have multiple options. So if you could find a physical coupon and then combine that with a store specific offer, like a points offer or whatever, and then add on your Checkout 51 coupon on top of that, and then you have your flyer sale from Flip, and then you've price matched it against another store that has a lower price, something like that, you've got yourself like a sweetheart of a deal. It's a lot of work. but it can pay off.
Yeah, one that I think I'm missing out on is Checkout 51. I've got an account. I've kind of played around with it a couple times, but in general though, I don't think to go there after purchasing. And really, they want you to look at it before purchasing because it's still really a coupon. I know it works after the fact, but it's still trying to promote people to go in and buy this item. But it's one where I still got to remember to actually have a look and see what those items are, even if it is after the fact, just to see if anything I did buy could apply.
Yeah, I find I'm often too busy myself for that. But if you treat this whole thing as kind of a hobby, then it becomes a game to see how many different ones you can apply to one purchase. You have to do what makes sense for you from a time cost basis, though.
Yeah. So another thing I want to cover was if you're online shopping, what's your thought about going through different portals like there's Swag Bucks and Ebates and Great Canadian Rebates? Do you use those? Does it make sense to go through those? And do you use them all, or do you sort of pick a favorite?
Well, I've always been a fan of doing the comparison and not being loyal, because the more loyal you are, usually the less rewards or perks you're going to get in general. So I use them all. I haven't really got on the automated one, which is Honey. I prefer to sort of manage the process myself and not have somebody jumping in and hijacking my online purchases. Because I might be trying to get a different offer or whatever, right? So I will compare them. There are sometimes cashback comparison sites, but those are more effective in the US where there's more sites. But I do use US sites as well, because for like travel purchases through Priceline or other major sites, as a Canadian, you can qualify for those. Mm-hmm. So the two big ones in Canada are Great Canadian Rebates, which is the oldest one, and then Ebates, which is newer. I always do a quick comparison between the two of them to see which is offering the highest cashback payout. There's a new one called Shopper Army, actually, but they only have a limited number of stores, but they're focused on Canada as well. And then there's like Top Cashback, Be Frugal. Oh my goodness, Fat Wallet I don't think is around anymore, but there is a lot of them. And you just look for the best offer. You click through, you go there, search for the store you're shopping at, click through, and then make your purchase. Usually you can even do it after you've already got your items in the cart.
Okay. And just like we said with Checkout 51, yes, it's definitely extra work, but it's also sort of free money that's lying around.
Yeah. And it does add up. I mean, I've personally probably, if you don't count like referrals and things that I've gotten through my websites, like I probably cleared, 2,000 anyway, in cashback for just legitimate purchases.
Well, I like how you mentioned how it can kind of be a hobby, and the word that came to me is even like gamifying it. Like if you really get into this and you want to get all these different levels and just see if you can get that $100 item for $10, then it sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of a bit of a rush, It's a high, definitely for sure.
So now people have made their purchase. When they're purchasing, how can they do this best? I know we're both fans of credit card rewards. So can you kind of take us through what credit cards people could be using, maybe the best way that they can find this? I know you have at Credit Card Genius, you have the Rate Your Wallet, which I think is a great option. So if you can kind of just walk people through that a bit, how they can kind of see based on their spending, they can get even more money back.
Yeah, if you go to creditcardgenius.ca and you look right at the top, there's a little link that says Rate Your Wallet. And this is a really sort of fun style personalized quiz where we get to know you through a few questions. You tell us what credit cards are already in your wallet, and then you tell us how much you spend and on what. And then we'll tell you, is that credit card sort of working for you to maximize your rewards and your cash back based on what you care about? Because it all depends on what you care about. Because, if you care about cash more than travel, or you value cash more than travel, then, you're going to want that cashback card, even if the travel card theoretically, gives you more points. And we'll show you, the ways you can redeem your points to maximize value and that kind of thing. So yes, you're going to want to have, the best credit card for making your purchase. And sometimes combining multiple credit cards together to maximize your rewards can make sense. a few rules of thumb, I guess, just to keep it simple. If you're spending more than $1,200 a month, you should probably look at getting a credit card with an annual fee, because the amount of extra rewards, insurance coverage, perks, and other benefits that come with that card are, and usually just the rewards itself, will outweigh the cost of the annual fee. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And then, you might want to look at having a second credit card in there that's no fee, that can amp up your rewards in a specific category, because it's very popular with credit cards to give you bonus rewards in some specific category, like your gas purchases or your grocery purchases or your drugstore purchases or your travel purchases. And the Tangerine money back credit card, for example, lets you pick up to 3 categories where you earn 2% cash back instead of 0.5% cash back, which is their normal rate. So if you take a card like the Scotia Momentum Visa Infinite, which is the top cashback credit card in Canada with an annual fee, it's got a $99 annual fee. And then you get 4% cash back on gas and groceries, 2% on recurring bills, and help me out. What's the other? I know you know.
I'm not sure. I can't remember. I have the card.
We'll remember later on. Anyway, 2% on 2 other things, and then 1% on everything else. So you could use that for your gas and groceries, and then you could have the Tangerine card as a backup card where you can do home improvement stores, drug stores, and whatever other third category that entertainment maybe, where you spend a lot of money. And then now you're earning 4% on 2 major categories, 2% on 3 other major categories, and then you use your Scotia Momentum Visa Infinite for all your other purchases, and you're getting 1% there. So you're really raising your return on spending by doing that. If you're willing to play the rewards game, in the airline miles game, you can amp up your spending to, like, the average return on spending for a typical person with the Scotia card is about 2%. Like, once you factor in some at 4%, some at 1%, you're going to get about 2% return. But like the top travel rewards credit cards, if you redeem them for airline miles in a smart way, you're going to average closer to 3 to 4% return on spending. And if you're really good at playing the game and you love business class or first class flights, and you know how to get that $10,000 flight for not that many points, you can get your return on spending to 6%, maybe even 10% if you're really good at playing the game and you like that sort of luxury. So yeah, credit cards are a great way. And then they're the best way to pay too, because you've got that zero liability protection, which you don't always have with debit and Interac. I think they've kind of brought that in, but the benefit with credit cards is the money never, if somebody commits fraud against you, the money never leaves your account, right? So there's no waiting period to get it back. You're not out money. You're not figuring out how to pay your bills in the meantime. You just call the credit card company up and you say, somebody fraudulently used my card, explain the situation to them. This just happened to me actually with my business card. Somebody charged them $7,000 in purchases the other day from, I don't know, it was like Dubai or something. And yeah, I just said, I don't even use this card. It's in my safe, and they're like, no problem. We'll reverse all those charges.
Yeah, that's great. I felt like you were looking right in my wallet because I used that the Scotiabank Momentum, the Visa Infinite one. I use it strictly for groceries. So for me, it truly is a 4% card. We just use it when we're doing grocery shopping, and then my normal card is the BMO World Elite, the 2% back. We use that a lot because we shop at Costco a lot.
It's a great card for Costco. It's flexible travel, so you can get basically any travel you want. You're not stuck with one airline or blackout dates or anything like that, right? So it's a good card for that, and you get the lounge passes with that too, and a bunch of other perks.
I do like the lounge passes.
One of my favorite tips, though, for credit cards, especially when it comes to spending categories, and the Scotia Momentum Visa Infinite, I don't know if you do this, but you can buy gift cards at the grocery store for anywhere, like Home Depot, a Sport Check or whatever store you want. And then you'll get your 4% cash back on those gift cards. And then you can use that to buy whatever you want. So if you're doing a major home reno, you could pay for that at Home Depot with gift cards that you bought at Superstore or Sobeys, and then you've got a 4% discount on your home reno.
I like that idea. I never really thought of that. To make that a 4% card on almost anything if you're buying those cards.
Just be careful not to lose the gift card.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, like grocery stores, they have those entire walls of gift cards nowadays. So there's all sorts of stores. I'm going to look into that more because I never really thought of that too much. I bought gift cards there, and I'm sure I got the 4% on it. I just never really thought of it as a planned idea, like you said, like go to Home Depot and with all these gift cards.
Yep, for sure. It's a great way to pad the cash back.
Nice. I really like that. Is there anything else that people should know about sort of credit cards? I guess one thing we could bring up is you mentioned the annual fee, and I have conversations with readers every week at least about I don't want to pay an annual fee, and you're right that they should just sort of do that math, right? Like look at their spending and
Well, we'll do the math for you. I mean, even with Outright Your Wallet, you can just go to Credit Card Genius and go to the Compare Credit Cards page. There's a drop down there where you enter your spending, and it'll show you exactly how much in dollars that card will earn you, no matter if it's rewards or what. And we've published a whole series of blog articles for every reward program saying exactly how we value the points. And if you redeem for this, you're going to get this value in points. If you redeem for that, you're going to get that value in points. So you can see the annual fee that you're paying, how much you're earning in rewards, and what your net rewards are going to be after the annual fee. Then you can do the same thing with your, no fee card and see, okay, well, where am I better off? And we've determined that line is around $1,200 in spending, but it really does depend on your personal spending profile and what cards you have.
Yeah, like if you're a family that's practically just buying groceries and gas and stuff, it's obviously going to be different than someone that's spending on
everything at Costco, because Costco doesn't qualify for a bonus in any category, right? So
yeah, exactly. And since we're talking about sort of getting the most value out of your purchases, I would also think things like whether certain cards have, if they double the extended warranty or travel insurance. Like these are all those extra perks on an annual fee card that some people don't consider. And to me, like I travel enough, just getting that travel insurance or maybe free checked bags more than pays for an annual fee.
Yeah. So at Credit Card Genius, we're the only site where we track more than 50 features of every credit card on the market. We don't just look at the rewards. So there's more than 16 different types of credit card insurance that come for free with the card. Mostly, cards with annual fee, but cards with no fee have it too. Most cards, most popular cards at least, have extended warranty, usually for an additional 1 year on top of the first year manufacturer's warranty, and purchase protection for 90 days, which means if you lose, have stolen, or break an item within 90 days of purchasing on your card, it will be the cost of that item will be refunded to you. And then, there's other things like, lost bag insurance, personal effects insurance, which is a real popular one that you have with BMO. They're like the only issuer that has it, which it covers you for anything that you lose or have stolen for the entire duration of your trip, not just when you're on the common carrier, which is the airline, or in transit, which most cards have that. But BMO actually covers you from end to end on the entire trip if you lose something or have it stolen, which is very rare. So those types of perks are plentiful. And so we combine all of those 50 features, including the 16 insurances, into our Genius rating. And that rating will be personalized and changed and adjust to you depending on what you tell us you care about using our sliders. So if you say you care about insurance, then the rating will be much more made up of insurance. But if you say you care about rewards or travel, then the rating will be much more made up of that. So you can see for every credit card in Canada, which card is rated the highest for you based on what you care about.
Great. So the last thing I want to mention was something I've been playing around with a bit is Milo. It's a app where you can round up your purchases. So part of me is concerned that maybe this might entice people to purchase when they shouldn't, because they feel like they're saving. But I do like the general idea that someone can install this app and maybe start saving without realizing they're saving. So it's not a way to save on your purchase, but it's something positive where if you're making purchases already, that they might be able to start actually putting some money away as well.
I didn't used to understand this concept because I'm a logical thinker and tend to be a little less emotional than the average person. But people in general are emotional people. And really what this is a brain hack for saving, right? So it's like hacking yourself to force you into saving, which people just can't logically get behind. I mean, you can even say with credit cards that, it's proven that you spend more with credit cards because the rewards and just it's the ease of use, and you don't see the money leaving your account right away, and you're not feeling the cash in your hand. You tend to spend a little bit more, and that's true. But as long as you're budgeting and staying in control of your spending, then I'd say other methods are going to get you further ahead. But if you're the kind of person that has a real trouble saving, and then I think an app like Milo that just sort of automates it and does it without thinking. If you were the kind of person who would break $5 at the store and then put whatever change you had in a jar, and then all that change you would do something with, then Milo's the kind of app for you.
Yeah, like you and I were money nerds, so if we want to save money, we calculate how much money we need to save and we save it. But yeah, if it gets someone started though, if it's a case of they're not saving at all, maybe they do spend a lot, then at least it's making sure some of that money gets funneled away, kind of a pay yourself first in connection with your shopping.
Yes, exactly. Pay yourself as you shop, right?
Yeah. So we talked about Credit Card Genius and a bit of how to save money, but can you just sort of let people know again where they can find you online, on social media and everything?
Yeah, well, Twitter, I mean, this tends to be where I'm most active. I'm at How to Save there. It's creditcardgenius.ca for that website and howtosavemoney.ca for the other. And we're also on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and I think I almost forget our Twitter handle for Credit Card Genius. I think it's at Credit Card Genius. So yeah, you can find us all over the place, and the links are obviously on our websites too if you want to follow us on social.
Great. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, Tom. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks to Stephen for helping us make the most of our spending dollar. You can find the show notes for this episode at MapleMoney.com/Stephen Weyman, or check out all the episodes at MapleMoney.com/show. Are you on Facebook? Then you should join the MapleMoney community, where Canadians can ask questions, share their own money saving tips, or simply hang out with other people as interested in improving their personal finances as you and I are. You can search for MapleMoney community on Facebook or head to MapleMoney.com/community. Thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you back here next week.